says I'm live. It says there's an excellent connection. I'm seeing just a black screen. So I'm just wondering, okay, there I am. Okay, so I just want to talk about the censorship stuff, the cancel culture that's going on right now. And mostly, I want peace. I want a peaceful world. I want people to be able to live free and in harmony, regardless of what they believe. I don't think that we should be caring what other people's political affiliations are. So long as we can each have our own freedom and do whatever we want to do in our locations. So I just want to talk about the drama triangle because that's what's really going on here. And the way for us to find peace is to leave the drama triangle. And that is what I am trying to explain as far as the why. Why do you want to leave the drama triangle? Because in order to leave the drama triangle, you have to focus on taking personal responsibility for your life and letting other people live their life and not trying to control the world around you. So I will share one image here. This is the circle of control and the circle of concern. And you see, if you focus on yourself and you can take personal responsibility for your life, you can have a wonderful life. You can fix your thoughts for thinking more positively and seeing the world in a more positive light, being more understanding, and you'll also feel a lot more powerful because you will be taking action that makes you feel powerful. You feel confident in the fact that you can make changes in your life and you can fix the things around you in some way. But you don't fix the things around you by trying to control other people and other circumstances. Instead, you fix the world around you by focusing on yourself. This is what the as above, so below idea is. As within, so without. If you change your inside, you will change the outside world. And so a lot of people are living in the circle of concern and trying to interact with people outside of themselves to try to fix the world. Quote unquote fix, because they believe it's broken. I don't believe the world is broken, but that's a whole nother discussion. So the circle of concern is like, how is somebody else going to react to this? How are they going to deal with that situation? How are they going to, are they going to hurt somebody? That sort of thing. And if you are concerned or afraid that somebody is going to do something that would be bad, either for you or for somebody else, then you end up in the drama triangle. And so this is where you feel like you have to save people by canceling somebody or censoring them. A lot of people are, saying that there isn't censorship going on because people could be going to a different platform, that sort of idea. Although once people left Twitter for Parler got shut down by Amazon basically at this point in time. It's still up Sunday, but after Sunday, Amazon is just not going to let them use their servers anymore. So Amazon is trying to save the world by canceling Parler. And so we've got that going on right now. Now, if Parler felt like a victim, they would just say, Amazon's my persecutor, and I'm going to now be defunct. That's the victim mentality, is Amazon sucks, they're the persecutor, and now I'm just sunk, and then you go out of business. But if you don't feel like a victim, if you take personal responsibility for yourself, you go forward and you look for alternatives. And so that's the sort of thing we want to do. We want to escape the drama triangle, like that little green guy up there running away. And we want to take personal responsibility for what's going on in our life, figure out alternatives, and not be stuck in a victim mentality blaming a persecutor for why everything went wrong. Parler seems to be doing that, by the way. They seem to be on the lookout for some other way to do things. So they don't seem to be taking the victim mentality route right now. And there are a lot of people out there who are feeling like they're going to be censored, or they're already self-censoring themselves because they're worried about getting canceled off of a platform, and then there's the people out there who are cheering on the censors. They're cheering on this, expulsion of people that they think are bad off the platforms. Like Parler. Some people are very pleased that Parler got taken down, right? So there's some people who are extremely happy. These are the saviors. They think that the people that got canceled were the persecutor. These people are saving the world by getting rid of the persecutors, and they're trying to save the victims. The world is the victims in that respect. And so we've got these people playing this drama triangle game. And the people who feel like victims, for one thing, I want to point out the drama triangle, they switch positions like immediately back and forth. As I mentioned, some people see Amazon as the persecutor and persecuting Parler for taking them off, and some people see Amazon as the savior. So there's different perspectives by who you're talking to, and they can shift quite rapidly. People are very adept at playing in the drama triangle, playing games there. So you can see games people play for more information about that too. That was kind of a rough read though. If you want a really easy read on this, I do highly suggest this book, and I will leave a link below for it, How to Break Free from the Drama Triangle and Victim Consciousness. And it's quite thin, but it's got a lot of great information in there. Maybe I'll read some from that later. But the thing is, the victims and the persecutors attract each other. So this is where the law of attraction comes in. Right now, there's people censoring people. Let's call them the persecutor rather than the savior at this point in time. And the censorers are, let's say, persecuting the people who are trying to have free speech, but they feel like they don't have an ability to have free speech right now. As the persecutors fight against the victims, then the persecutors will create more victims. So it's just going to get worse in that respect, as people are trying to fight against those they think they need to censor. It's going to create more people they feel like they need to censor. As people are trying to save the world from these evil people who think differently than they do, they're going to create more evil people who think differently than they do. And of course, evil in quotations, because this is just their perspective. A lot of what's going on right now is just a lot of perspective and projection. So, like, some people will call somebody else a fascist, and then they will say, I don't want you to be able to speak your mind anymore, thereby becoming a fascist themselves. In other words, you become the monster that you wanted to fight in the first place. Scream Nazi long enough, you become one, that sort of idea. Whatever you fight against, you can become. There's a quote, something, don't fight monsters lest you become one, something like that. So, as you fight against something, you create more of it, and you'll also probably become more like what you've been fighting against. There's a bit of projection in there. Because what's happening is the world is kind of putting you in a place where you have to interact with others, and they're a mirror towards you of your issues, and if you don't deal with your issues, they're just going to get larger. So as people are saying, we need to censor these people because they make me feel bad when they say something, instead of dealing with your, let's get this one up there, instead of dealing with your thoughts and beliefs that make you feel bad, because that's what's making you feel bad. People cannot make you feel bad. If you didn't agree with them, or if you didn't have some sort of projection or issues with them, you wouldn't feel bad if somebody said something that wasn't true about you. So if you've been falsely accused, you would not feel bad at all unless you felt like there was something wrong with you and you were sort of agreeing with them. And I'm speaking from my personal experience on that one. And I'm not projecting towards other people. That was just me. If I feel bad about myself, then, if somebody says something like criticism, then, the reason it feels bad to me is because I'm agreeing with them. If I felt completely confident with myself and somebody said something, then I would not be upset that they said that thing. So the reason people get triggered is because they've got their own issues that they're not dealing with. So what's going on is a lot of people are getting triggered and not dealing with their issues and just sort of fighting back. They're shooting the messenger, so to speak. The messenger may have not said anything bad at all, but they've projected, and now they hate the messenger because they didn't like the reflection they were seeing in the mirror. And they thought it was the mirror's fault, not their own. So, it's like trying to clean a mirror, but the dirt is on your face, right? Now that I read in a book, and I forget which book it was, so I wish I could give credit. Maybe somebody else knows that. But regardless, a lot of people are trying to clean the mirrors rather than clean their faces. And that is what is going on with the world right now. So when we, let me take that off there. When we are getting triggered, instead of saying that person's a persecutor because I feel bad now because they exist, instead of thinking that person is evil, we have to look inside of ourselves and deal with our issues for why did I get triggered? What belief was in me that made me feel bad? Because other people can't make you feel bad. I mean, I guess I can bring this back up again, but this is just the complete truth, is other people can't make you feel bad. If you feel bad, that's an emotional response. That's a C, consequence, right there on the screen. And the only reason you feel bad is because you had a belief about that thing. So let's say here, some people were chanting on an airplane something about pro-USA, and they almost got kicked off a flight. Let's not get into the fact that they might have been disturbing the peace. Maybe a child wanted to sleep and they're yelling, Let's just ignore that stuff for right now for this purpose. But let's say they were just talking and it triggered somebody that they were saying, we were at this rally and we want America to be great again. God bless the USA or something. And somebody gets triggered. The question is, why did they get triggered that these people have these feelings? Why did they get triggered that these people were at that place? What on earth does it matter for their life that a couple of people they don't know are patriotic? So why are you getting triggered? It's because you have a belief, and some people have a belief that these people are guilty by association with things that happened. And that's usually it, but guilty of what? What do they believe is happening? And so you've got to question your beliefs, because what's going on in that moment, I don't think anybody could argue that there's something wrong with saying the United States should be, blessed, or, praying that the world would be better, etc., or something. I don't really think that people would argue that that's a bad thing in and of itself. It's the associations, I think, that people have with it. And you've got to question, why is this triggering me? And it probably would come down to, and this is probably, if somebody has other ideas, comment, but it would probably come down to being afraid that somebody would be harmed in some way. In which case, why? Because these people are getting on a plane to leave and they're happy and whatever, right? So the thing is, that is a prejudice. They are prejudging the people based on what they're saying to have some sort of fault in themselves. And so people are getting very prejudiced these days and very triggered off of things that they don't even know anything else about, right? So part of the title of this video is MYOB, mind your own business. Like, who cares if these people are, happy? So instead of, if something like that triggers you, you have to ask yourself, why is this triggering me? And in the same way, let's flip it. Somebody wants to censor you on Facebook, let's say. You have to ask yourself, why is this upsetting to me? And you may feel like, because I want to be able to talk to my friends, I want to be able to run a business on Facebook, I want to be able to do this and do that. And the thing is, you could, if you were quiet, but you still have the free will in order to do that sort of thing, unless your Facebook page's business has something to do with something they really don't like. But you do have other options. You could leave and go to another platform. I know people tried that with Parler and it didn't work, but they're going to be looking for other servers and things like that. We're in this transitional period where people are finding their alternatives. And there are alternatives. I mean, you could go to Minds or MeWe. I'm on both of those. There's links below if you want to check out my profiles and things like that. But you can go to other places. So it doesn't always have to be there. There are always other options. And so what's going on, and that you're getting triggered on Facebook, is because you have a belief it has to be through Facebook. Like there's no other option. Or it has to be through this. It has to be through this. Some people are getting fired by their jobs and they're getting upset with this. And I would say, yeah, if I got fired from my job just because of my political affiliation, I'd be upset. I get that. But in the same way, would I want to be working for somebody who wants to fire people based on their political affiliations? Hell no. So thank you. Thank you for that. Perhaps you can get unemployment, So the thing is, you can see things in different perspectives. That's what I've got this up here. It's your beliefs that are causing the feeling of upsetness, the strife. It's all caused by your beliefs about the situation, and it's usually these limited beliefs or prejudices and things like that. These ideas about people and about situations and how you think it's not working out for you, but it really is working out for you. And if you believe that everything was working out for you, then you could be happy and bless every single situation, which I do. So, that's the benefit of the law of attraction. That belief is that everything is working out for you, and they can't get you down. So I really just, I wanted to point this stuff out because I want people to be able to stop feeling like they are stuck in this situation and start feeling like they have other options. Commander Lee's in the chat said many are going to Gab. I know Gab's another one. I was on there, but I found it difficult. It was very slow today. So, but then Parler was slow and everybody was going there. But anyway, we all have different options. Let's see here. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. But I also wanted to read from this book a little bit, the How to Break Free from the Drama Triangle and Victim Consciousness. So this is just a short little bit. It says, drama triangle dynamics provide persecutors with a payoff, a justifiable reason for releasing pent-up emotions from the past. Present time situations that contain just the right cues will also trigger the release of unprocessed emotions from past conflicts. When this happens, people have difficulty believing that the intensity of their emotions is not related to what's happening in the here and now. In fact, the dynamics of the drama triangle actually prevent people from connecting the dots between past traumas and emotions and present events and emotions. The dynamics encourage them to blame others for stirring up old repressed feelings rather than to look inward and ask, why am I having such a strong reaction? So this justifiable reason for releasing pent-up emotions is that righteous indignation that people feel when something goes wrong. Yeah, I believe that everybody has a right to free speech, but they are free. Right now, you can talk and you can call somebody up and have some free speech. And you can look for another place to go, like Minds or MeWe, or these various other places like Gab. Parlor. I like Parlor, but there's some people on there I don't agree with, obviously, but that's okay. I want them to have free speech too. And I do have to look up stories and things like that to make sure everything is true and not just, another thing that Snopes would debunk. But I'm okay with that because you have to do that on Facebook too. And I was doing that a lot more on Facebook, honestly, because I don't trust their fact checkers personally. So, yeah, we're just at the situation where we have to take personal responsibility and decide what we want to do. And so we want to break out of the drama triangle. And in order to do that, as I mentioned, you want to deal with the old repressed feelings. So if you get triggered, you want to deal with your issues. Now, there's a lot of people who are feeling like they are not allowed to speak up. And as I mentioned, that's a limiting belief. Yes, you have the freedom of speech right now. And you can go forward and speak as freely as you want, sing in your house, do things. You've got free speech. These platforms, I want them to be just as free as we are free to do other things. It is a little annoying that Amazon decided to take down Parler in the short term. However, it is for our betterment in the long term because Parler is going to find some other way to do it. And we're going to find some other way to speak. If you want peace in your life, deal with your triggers. And so one thing that I would do personally is I do the Ho'oponopono cleaning. And that is to say that mantra, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, over and over and over again if I get triggered. And the way I see this is, I love you, trigger. I'm sorry that I had a limiting belief that God doesn't have, because I wouldn't feel upset if I was seeing this through God's eyes. And please forgive me. So that's just like, please help me get back to what you see, God, how do you see this? And then thank you, because I know that this is for my benefit. And so I love you, trigger. And so if I'm, for example, what's a good example? Okay, on Facebook, I've deactivated my Facebook account. But in the past, I would put something on Facebook, and Facebook would say, this mentions COVID. Are you really sure you want to post that? And I'd be like, wow, condescending much? So I've got that. This whole, the fact that Facebook is condescending, they're looking down on me, they think I'm a victim and they need to save me from false information. And so then I would go through the whole Ho'oponopono thing, and then I would feel better. For one thing, thanking God for this situation is great because it brings personal healing. And when you're healed, when you don't go around with that victim mentality vibration, you don't attract persecutors any longer. So you can be very thankful for these situations because it's helping you to heal and no longer feel like a victim, so you'll no longer attract persecutors. That's how to break free from the drama triangle. And so that and meditation. One thing is just helpful tips here is, listen to good music that helps you to feel better and empowered. And which one is it? Here. Take personal responsibility in your circle of control. Do what you can to feel powerful in your life. If you exercise and meditate, you'll feel like the exercise is basically getting energy and releasing the pent up emotions that you have without hurting somebody else, and also by benefiting your body. And meditation is to help you to mellow your mind. Both of these things are proven to make you happier. There's a wellness course, Yale Coursera. It's a Coursera course, The Science of Well-Being, and I can leave a link to it. But I took that class, and it's amazing. It's basically how to be happy. And so that's what you want to do. You want to focus on how to be happy. Listen to good positive music. Feel powerful by taking control of your life where you can, and no longer feeling out of control. Because right now, a lot of people are feeling out of control. Like, the government is going to come after me, or the government needs to go after these people because of this and that. A lot of people believe that a civil war is coming, and I'm definitely one of them. I'm not wanting it, but people need to understand what's going on and how to sort of break free from this situation. And in order to break free, you want to relax, let other people do their own thing, mind your own business, and it's going to be okay. A lot of people might say, well, these people are coming and they're going to just continually try to censor us, and what are we going to do if we don't do anything and we just mind our own business? What if everybody just minded their own business? And I'd say, if everybody minded their own business, we'd actually probably be really, really happy. So if, but what's going on right now is a lot of people not minding their own business. So if people just minded their own business, we could all just relax. But it doesn't matter if people are not minding their own business. So the people who are fighting against each other, they're going to create more strife until they finally deal with their issues. Let me know if you have any questions, because I might end up ending this sooner. But it'll work itself out. So we don't have to be involved. And I think that's something most people don't really get. A lot of people see what's going on in the world and they feel like, I have to get involved. Something has to be done. Minding your own business is really the best way to deal with this, because the world is going to fix itself. The world is self-healing, and I'll post an article on my blog for more information about that. But on the asabove.below.loa.com, there's the address, and the address is also in the description box below. But there's a blog, and I write about how there is healing. The world is healing itself, and we don't need to get involved. It will just heal itself. These people, they will work themselves out. And the people who were fighting so against certain things created worse things. But that's okay, because the age of irresponsibility is ending, and we're moving forward into an age of personal responsibility. And that's what's going on, is people right now are like at the epitome of not taking personal responsibility and saying it's everybody else's fault but mine. And they're going to hit rock bottom. But we don't have to be a part of it. So we can just stay calm, chill out, relax, mind your own business. And if somebody else is getting upset, it's a great time to have a mantra, to be doing the Ho'oponopono cleaning, or Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, or whatever mantra or prayer you want to have. You could have something on your wrist. I actually just did a video about the Mark of the Beast earlier. I didn't put it on YouTube, but I can leave a link below to that too. But I was talking about how I used to have a bracelet called, that said, "What would Jesus do?" And that's a great thing too. It's like you get into this situation where people are, you know, falsely accusing you, and he had it a lot. And you don't antagonize them, you know, you just be calm. Just, you understand that they don't understand who you are. They're probably projecting. There's a lot of gaslighting going on. If you don't know what gaslighting is, I was watching the Truman Show and I was thinking, man, this is like perfect example of gaslighting. You know, he sees a light falling from the sky, and rather than having an explanation of, you know, that he's in this huge studio and it's a studio light that fell on him, you know, they're talking about a plane dropping it. They're just constantly lying to him. And, you know, whatever you think is going on, Truman, it's not really going on, you know. There's just gaslighting galore. And I'll also leave a link, I think, to the Teal Swan forecast for this year, for 2021. She mentions the gaslighting. It's going to be big. It already is. And so when people are doing this sort of stuff, they are projecting and they are seeing things that just, it's their triggers, and it's like shooting the messenger. So that's kind of what's going on now. So I think I'm going to end this, but yeah, I just wanted to say this stuff is sort of crazy, but just focus on yourself and healing your triggers. And if you heal your triggers, you won't have this stuff appear in your life as much anymore. And I also recommend Michael Singer's books, like The Untethered Soul and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess I'll probably put links to some of these things that I mentioned down below. If you want to see me on other media, because I don't know if I'll be on YouTube for how long, you know, I'm placing my stuff in other places because I'm taking personal responsibility. So there's links below if you want to, you know, friend me or follow me or whatever on these other platforms. I hope you all are doing well. Thanks for watching, and shalom and namaste.